This week has been a fun one in football as around the National Football League, organized team activities known as OTAs underway across the league. So you get to see guys back on the practice field, running drills, going through practice together in shorts and helmets. That's always fun. But you also get to hear from those stars around the NFL. And at the Star in Dallas, that included quarterback Dak Prescott yesterday, who should be due for a large contract extension, we would believe, at a certain point this offseason. Dak Prescott on that contract situation yesterday saying, I know my business will take care of itself, just controlling what I can control. Why has he been able to be so patient? I don't play for money. I'll leave that to the business people to say what it's worth, what they're supposed to give a quarterback of my play. It's about controlling what I can control, handle that part, and everything else will take care of itself. Do you believe that Dak Prescott is worthy of a contract extension this offseason?
How about that? He doesn't want to play for money. Well, Jerry Jones said here, I'm like, great, we're going to restructure you down to the league minimum since you don't care at all about money at this point, and we can spend that on Micah Parsons and also CeeDee Lamb and maybe bring in some new football players. I always love when they say they don't play for money, but they're one of the highest paid players at their position. And certainly look at the bank account over the past couple years for Dak Prescott. It's pretty expansive there. I think Dak Prescott is a quality quarterback, but the question always comes up for Dak. Can he perform in the biggest moments? And the Dallas Cowboys as a franchise never perform good in the biggest moments here, as they never make runs to a Super Bowl, which if you want to be paid like the top quarterback in the NFL, your organization wants to know that there's a legitimate chance that that money is going to be spent on a long career of making it to NFC championship games and Super Bowls. So I look at Dak Prescott, and again, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, the NFC East. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but I do think he's a quality quarterback. But I always see the first part of that quote, I don't play for money, and say I'm already checked out. This is a nonsense interview right now.
Okay. I appreciate that heat behind it. Dak Prescott in the 2021 NFL offseason signed a big contract extension with Dallas. At the time, a $40 million per year annual average salary that now really doesn't even look all that hefty in National Football League circles at the quarterback position. 4-year deal worth $160 million signed back in 2021 that expires at the end of this 2024 campaign, thus the conversation around a potential contract extension. I think it is rightful to question Dak Prescott's ceiling and where he can lead Dallas to. 13 straight playoff trips since their last Lombardi Trophy in 1995 without even getting past the divisional round or playing in the NFC Championship game. But Dak is going to get his money. And very likely, Donnie, it could be the highest paid salary we have seen in the National Football League and at the quarterback position. Joe Burrow reset the market last offseason. 5-year deal, $275 million. Annually worth $55 million. Jared Goff got a new deal this offseason. 4-year, $212, $53 million a year. I think Dak Prescott will get close, if not to $60 million per year on an annual average salary basis. It sounds crazy, but that's where inflation is going at the quarterback position.
No, it certainly is, and he's going to get a lot of money. But also understand this. It's an odd tactic that Jerry Jones is using with his franchise. My head coach, how do you usually say that you're really confident your head coach is good? Extend them a couple years here, as opposed to playing the card like, well, put up or shut up this season. It usually doesn't work well because players also feel that and be like, you're not going to be here next year. Why am I going to listen to you? And then you take a look at Dak Prescott. Forget about him, which in the whole conscience of this is saying, okay, you're telling Dak, put up or shut up and win this year. I understand that makes somewhat sense. But do you see how much Dak Prescott is counting against the salary cap? You're literally telling Dak to step up to the plate or not, but your football team could be much better if you already extended him, believing he is your future quarterback, and that frees up hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars down the table that you don't have to kick down the road, and you can afford to pay some of your other talent and bring other players in. So on one side, I sort of respect Jerry Jones by going, I'm not paying these guys unless they actually show me on the field, but at the same time, you sort of undermine yourself and also harm your football team on the salary cap, because Dak Prescott should not be counting $50 to $60 million against the cap. It should be around 15 to 20 with a restructured deal.
Yeah, absolutely so. And there is no coach on a hotter seat than Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Sure, he's back, but there was no contract extension, no vote of confidence for Mike McCarthy this upcoming season. The Dallas Cowboys remain one of my favorite favorite follows in all of the National Football League. Now we go to another quarterback who was paid last offseason, Lamar Jackson. Slimmed down by about 25 pounds from his 2022 NFL season weight and where he was last year as well, checking in at around 205. People ask Lamar Jackson, why did you slim down? To be more agile, to move more, is what Lamar Jackson said. Do you think it makes Lamar Jackson a better quarterback to be a little bit more trim?
I don't know, but I want to bet him early on in the season, because if you're losing that much weight and you're expected to be even quicker than we already know you are, you know he is going to be running early. But the question then begs, man, a quarterback, sometimes it's good to have a little bit extra meat on those bones to absorb those hits you're going to take in the pocket. And if he's slimmer than he was last year, I don't know if that's actually a great thing or not. But as I told you, in the month of September, look for Lamar to go over 100 yards rushing in each one of those games. Because if he's coming in 20 pounds lighter and how fast he is, I don't know who's going to catch him early in the season. But if they do catch him, man, you might be headed to the sidelines for a few games here, buddy.
16 games for Lamar Jackson last year after only playing 12 the last two seasons prior. Maybe due to injury, maybe due in 2022 to an ongoing contract dispute and situation. Who is to truly say? But 821 rushing yards for Lamar Jackson. Led the league in yards per average at 5.5 per pop. I don't think he needs to be any skinnier, but Donnie's right. If you look at some of the rushing yards numbers early on in the year for Lamar Jackson, for any quarterback, for a team hoping to contend, health is always the most critical component. Lamar Jackson, a two-time NFL MVP in his six-year NFL career, enters this season with the fifth best number, or tied for the fifth best price at 14-1, alongside Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. Also in a contract situation is Jordan Love. And how about C.J. Stroud? Tied for the third best price to win the NFL MVP award alongside Joe Burrow. More around the National Football League. Football news up next here on this Thursday. NFL news and notes during OTAs this week in the National Football League. We have some moments in the offseason calendar outside of the draft and free agency before training camp where some focus is paid to the National Football League. Before Memorial Day, football, pretty fun stuff. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has hinted a few times at a potential 18-game regular season schedule. We have 18 weeks, but 17 games at this moment. Goodell saying this week, we think that's a good trade, is in regards to an 18-game schedule, less preseason games and more regular season games. What do you think of what Roger Goodell had to say about a potential 18-game regular season?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. And there's ways that you can sort of massage it to sort of help the players out. The one thing that we love about football is when all the superstars are on the field each and every week. We don't like it so much when a lot of the quarterbacks are missing because it would be subpar play. The reason I bring this up is I do find it funny that it's like, well, we'll just take away two. But nobody plays in the preseason anyway. So don't tell me you're taking away two preseason games and adding two because the wear and tear on the bodies will be the same because the same amount of games you play. Nobody's in the preseason. These guys do most of their work in the preseason camps where they actually go up against other teams in scrimmages much more than they do in the games. But having said that, an 18-game schedule makes sense. Who doesn't want more football? Everybody wants more football, but also I think there's a happy medium. If you throw that extra bye week in there during the season, I think the players will love the extra money in their back pocket for the extra game. The NFL will like that because they can pitch it to the networks and probably sell it to another streaming service for that extra week. Who knows? Sure. But I do think we're heading on that collision course because more football means more ratings and more money in everybody's pocket. And for us, from a content perspective, you want to give us an extra week of football games? Sign me up.
Listen, let's call a spade a spade. It's the most simple truth in this life and for the National Football League. It is all about the money. That additional regular season game is not a benefit for the National Football League and its organizations and its players from a health and safety perspective. It is not because we love to see regular season games and it's for the integrity of a schedule or fair and equitable around the National Football League. It is about the dollars. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And if you can add in an additional regular season games with all of the TV viewership that comes along with it for what you can do for TV rights revenue and TV rights contracts with additional buying partners like Netflix, Amazon Prime, continue to move things out It is going to always move the needle for the National Football League. You can stomp, you can cry, you can speak for player safety, and you are correct, but it doesn't mean a darn thing. If money is available for the taking, the National Football League is going to go get it. And that is what an additional regular season game would mean.
Absolutely, and that's all it's about, because I always go back to this. Thursday Night Football is terrible for everybody but the bottom line. The reason I bring that up is if you tell players now, they're all about the bottom line as well themselves. Hey, guys, by the way, you guys wanted to get rid of Thursday Night Football. We know it's not the most safe thing for you guys to do, but you're each going to take a 15% pay cut next year. They'd say, no, put the Thursday game night there. Even if I'm hurt, injured, or get a concussion, I want that extra 15% in my bottom line and my bonuses here. That's just the way the world is here. Sometimes these games don't make any sense, and teams are going to play 3 games in 10 days. But if you tell the players they're going to lose money, they'll say, sign me up for 3 games in 10 days every single time.
Every single year, if you look at the top 50 television broadcasts across the country, 42 of the 50 are football, 38 of the 42 are NFL games. The NFL averaged nearly 18 million viewers for every single game last year in the regular season. Thursday Night Football, some of those clunkers on Prime, 11.86 million. You know how much money that means when you can generate nearly 12 million viewers for a live event? That's what it comes down to. And the NFL Draft continues to produce numbers as well. The home of the 2026 NFL Draft in the Steel City. Pittsburgh has been picked as the site, the hosting city for the 2026 National Football League Draft.
Yeah, it should always be in one place and one place only. Just put the bad boy in Vegas every single year. Nobody wants to go to Detroit. Nobody wants to go to Green Bay. Nobody wants to go to Pittsburgh here. Just put it in a city with nice weather and enjoy. Come on now. We're doing this all backwards.
Brother, DRS, you can't say nobody wants to be in Detroit when they had over 700,000 fans absolutely shattering the record for attendance.
Detroit. Yeah, let me know when somebody actually flew into Detroit because they wanted to go to the draft in Detroit. I'll wait.
It doesn't matter. They had over 700,000 people there, shattering the record of less than 35 or 33,000, 350,000. I can't even think. That's why they do it. They're going to get that in Lambeau. They're going to get that in Pittsburgh. They're going to get $1 million in Pittsburgh. That's my prediction.